Okay, good morning, everybody, and Hazak Baruch. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday morning. As we are studying together, my friends, Perashat Nasso. Okay, today's class has two dedications. Number one, today's class is dedicated in loving memory of Joe Dewar, Leilun Shmat Yosef Ben Chinya, Ruach Adonai Tanihenu Began Eden, Hu V'chol B'nei Yisrael Shechvim Mo B'chalamim V'aslichot V'chen Yiratzon V'Rman Amen. Sponsored by Claudia and Marcus Dewar and family. May his neshama have an aliyah. Hazak Baruch. As well, today's class is dedicated Lui Nishmat Svetlana Golda Bat Serah Ruach Adonai Tanihena Began Eden. Hi v'chol benot Yisrael hashachvot ima b'chamim v'seichot v'chen yiratzon v'nomar amen. Sponsored anonymously. Hazak Baruch to our sponsors as well. Rabotai, my friends, our Perashat Nasso, of course, has in it, and that would be today's class, God willing, the famous Birchat Kohanim, the blessings that the Kohanim give every single morning, at least in the Sfaradi synagogues. We have the custom that we receive every morning the blessings from the Kohanim. Yes, Ashkenazim, different communities have different customs. In America, I think they don't, unless it's like the holidays. And in Israel, Ashkenazim do. Yeah, different customs. But the blessings, my friends, are found in this week's Perashah. They're beautiful blessings. They're very powerful blessings. So let us today dedicate a few minutes to study the blessings of the Kohanim, to just scratch a little bit the surface, to understand what they are and how the Kohanim are to bestow them upon us. Be'ezrat Hashem. The blessing is found at the end of chapter 6. So please turn to Perashat Nasso, chapter 6 in the book of Numbers. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. And God says to Moshe, Daber el Aharon, speak to Aaron, ve'el banav, and to his sons. Now this makes sense because Aharon is the Kohen. He's the first Kohen in history. Kohanim come from Aharon. Okay? We have to realize that although Aharon and Moshe were brothers, okay, it's a little bit tricky. Usually brothers are both Kohanim or both not. Here you had Aharon was a Kohen, his brother Moshe was not a Kohen. Yeah, because that the Kehuna started from Aharon and on. So all of Aharon's children are Kohanim. If you're a Kohen, you come from Aharon. You need to know that. I once saw a Kohen. I wanted to make him feel good. I said, what's your name? What's your last name? Oh my gosh. You know that you are a direct son after son after son from Aharon, a Kohen? The guy started crying. He's like, oh my God, really, Rabbi? How do you know? Right? I said, of course, you're a Kohen. If you're a Kohen, that means you're a son after son after son of Aharon a Kohen. It has to be. Right? We don't always think about it like that, but that's the fact. Okay. Daber el Aharon ve'el banav lemor. Okay. Speak to Aharon and his sons, saying, Ko tebarechu et bnei Yisrael. Like this you shall bless the Jewish people. Amor lahem, and say the following: Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. May God bless you and protect you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May God shine His Ya'er, His light. May God give you or, His face. May God shine His face towards you. V'choneka, and give you hen. Okay, hen, big word. Hen is charm. Okay, Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. May God turn His face towards you and give you peace. V'samu et shemi al bnei Yisrael va'ani avarechem. And place my name on the Jewish people, and I will bless them. So over here, my friends, these are jam-packed blessings. There's a lot going on. And let's try to deconstruct, let's try to elaborate one at a time. Now you should know that the Kohanim, I just want to share something beautiful. The Kohanim every morning, they bless us. When they give the blessing, they're doing a mitzvah aseh. They're doing a mitzvah from the Torah of blessing the Jewish people. And before doing a mitzvah, you have to say a bracha, and the Kohanim do. The Kohanim every morning when they bless us, excuse me, the Kohanim say a blessing. They say a bracha, Baruch Atah Hashem. If you ever in synagogue, you hear it. Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'kedushato shel Aharon, v'sivanu lebarech et amo Yisrael be'ahava. And the Kohanim say how we're commanded. We're sanctified, first of all, with the sanctity of Aharon, and we're commanded to bless the people be'ahava, with love. Okay? Now that word, be'ahava, okay, is a very interesting word. That the Kohanim need to bless us with love. Okay, what exactly does that mean? Is it going on them? Is it going on us? Levarech et amo Yisrael, that they should bless us with love. meaning that we should have love, or are they blessing us with love? Yeah? Usually, my friends, a blessing, when you say a bracha, you don't say, I'm going to right now light Shabbat candles with love. You don't say that. You say, I'm going to light Shabbat candles. Right? Before I put tefillin every morning, I say a blessing that I'm about to put tefillin. It doesn't say that Hashem commanded me to put the tefillin on with vigor, with excitement. Right? The how is not usually included in the bracha. All of a sudden here, when it comes to brachat kohanim, it says how they should bless us. They should bless us be'ahava. But my friends, I think there's something very, very, very important and deep over here. Aharon HaKohen, who was giving over these blessings of peace, right, and chen and charm and money, all of these blessings. Why does Aharon have to give them? What about a big rabbi? What if a big rabbi wants to go up and do brachat kohanim? Can he? Can he do it? Can't do it. Not allowed. Has to be a kohen. Very interesting. I mean, I know personally, I've gone to many big rabbis in my life to get brachot from them, and they're not kohanim. Something specific about these blessings have to be given by a kohen. Why? Why Aharon and his sons? Right? Why Aharon? And really, it says that he sanctified us with the sanctification of Aharon, the blessing that the kohanim say. Asher kedeshanu begdushato shel Aharon. We are sanctified with the sanctity of Aaron. Why do we have to say that? Why can't they just say that we're sanctified with the sanctity of kohanim? That's what it really is. We are kohanim. No, we're mentioning Aharon. We're specifically mentioning his name, the OG, the father of kohanim, that we're sanctified through Aharon. Why? Why is that important? My friends, we go to the last Mishnah of all of Shas. The Mishnah says that if you want bracha in your life, there's bracha coming down all the time. Hashem sending bracha. That's what we have to realize. But no bracha will ever work. No bracha will ever work if there's no shalom. I need you to know that. Shalom is the number one ingredient for bracha. Okay? If you don't have shalom, it's like holding a cup under a sink and there's a hole in the cup. All the water that comes in will not stay. It'll fall right through. If you don't have shalom in your life, with your wife, with your husband, if you don't have shalom in your life, with the people around us, if we don't have shalom, there's no bracha. All the bracha won't matter if there's no peace. Machloket machloket, my friends, is a bracha destroyer. You have machloket in your life, it's like taking a gun and shooting down all the bracha that you potentially could receive. So the reason Aharon HaKohen was able to bless us with peace was because he was a person who loved the Jewish people. Yeah? Aharon promoted peace. You need peace, shalom. So what does that mean, shalom? Aharon loved everyone. Aharon had shalom with everyone. Aharon was a person who was ohev shalom, verodev shalom. Ohev et haberiot. Aharon loved everyone. Aharon had peace with everybody. There was no machloket with Aharon. He was be'ahava. You see, when the Kohanim are telling us that we're going to get all of these blessings, they have to do it be'ahava. They have to do it with love. But more importantly, they're telling us that we have to have ahava. We have to have love. When you have love with another person, then there could be bracha in your life. By the way, the word ahava, I love this. The word ahava numerically has the value aleph. Write it out. Aleph, hey, bet, hey. Spell it out. Aleph, hey, bet, hey. Ahava. Numerically, how much is that? Aleph, 1. Hey, 5. 6 so far. Aleph and hey, 1 and 5 is 6. Bet, 2. It's already 8. And another hey, another 5, 13. Ahava is 13. Okay? Same value as the word ehad, 1. Ehad, aleph, het, dalid. 1, 8, 4, 13. When you're in love, when you're one with another person, ahava. When you take ahava and you take ahava, 13 and 13 together, 2 people, 26. Okay? 26 is the name of God. So when we have love with other people, then we have Hashem, correct? We have Hashem in our lives. We have Yud Kei Vav Kei. So the Kohanim have to bless us with love, but more importantly, they're telling us be'ahava that we need to have love. If you have peace, if you have love, if you have shalom, then you're going to get all of these brachot. All of these blessings are coming your way, my friends. But prerequisite, very important. We got to make sure that we're at peace. We got to make sure that we have shalom. We got to make sure that we have love. Also, I remember hearing one time something beautiful, that the word ahava is telling the Kohanim that they have to do it with love. Sometimes you're blessing somebody else, but deep down you don't really mean blessing. Sometimes as you're blessing someone, deep down you're jealous. Deep down you're really giving them the khamsa. Deep down you're really giving them ayin hara, right? You're telling someone, wow, mazal tov, beautiful, beautiful. I hope you have a lot of nachat. But unfortunately, because we don't have a good life, we don't sometimes have blessing, so we're really giving them the bad eye. We're saying with our mouths, you should have a great life, but in our hearts and our minds, we're actually intending curses. We're thinking negativity. We're throwing all the bad things on the person. Yeah? So the Kohanim, they have to make sure that when they're blessing the person, right, that they're blessing them with a good eye. Right? Bless the person with sincerity, in a genuine blessing. Be'ahava, with love. And actually, how do you say love in French? Anyone know? Amor. That's the word in the pasuk. Amor lahem. Amor lahem. Amor in Hebrew means say to them, but amor also means love. Amor lahem. Do it with love. Okay, I saw that inside. It's not the cute Dvar Torah. I saw that in a real source one time. Okay, so that is what the Kohanim say every morning before they bless the Jewish people. They say this blessing, and number one, they have to bless us with amor, with love, and number two, they tell us that we have to have ahava with each other. Okay, comes along Rabbeinu Bahye, my friends. Let's take a look. Ko tevarechu et bnei Yisrael. Like this, you shall bless the Jewish people. Okay, in this style, meaning if a Kohen gets up there, you ready? What if a Kohen is very poetic and he decides he just wants to say his own thing? He just wants to go, solo, and he wants to just take the mic and he just wants to start, poetry slamming over here, right? What if he just decides he's got such nice, he's read so many Mother's Day cards and so much of Hallmark, and he's ready to give the most beautiful blessings. You should be showered with the rain, right? Is the Kohen allowed to do his own bracha? Is he allowed to go, right, encore? The answer is no. Asur, not allowed. Cool. Like this. This is the style. This is the way. It's like imagine a guy gets up for the national anthem when they're singing it at wherever venue, and he says his own words. America is the best place. What are you doing? Those are not the words. No, but I'm going to make up my own words. You can't make up your own words. This is the anthem. This is how it's written. This is how it's said. Okay, lehavdil, same thing with Birchat Kohanim. Ko tevarechu. Like this. This is how you say it. Comes along Rabbeinu Bahye and says, deeper, Midrash, Ko tevarechu, masar lahem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, abrachol HaKohanim, that God gave this blessing as a gift to the priests. The Kohanim have the power, and no one else has the power to bless the Jewish people. Now, of course, I just want to clarify. Even a father and mother could say these blessings, not in the context of synagogue. If you want to bless your children one day, just on Friday night, it's a beautiful blessing to give. Under a chuppah, we tell a chatan and kala that you should have these blessings. Anyone could technically bless, because you're not doing it as a mitzvah. You're not doing it with the bracha. But in synagogue, if a person wants to go up, they have to be a Kohen. Only Kohanim. And sometimes you have a case that there's no Kohanim in the synagogue, and we skip it. We don't give the blessings really. We just read the psukim as if we're reading from the verse, from the text. But we don't give it. Yeah? So the Kohanim are the ones that were given this gift. Matana. Ufi, and because she'ati, look at this. Ufi she'ati limsor lahem arba'a ve'esrin matanot kehuna. We know that God eventually is going to give the priests another 24 gifts. Yes? That from the korbanot, from the sacrifices. So 24 plus this one of Kohanim, of Birchat Kohanim, is 25. The kach eskid lashon ko. That's why he said ko tevarechu. Chaf, hey, 25. Beautiful. Kilomar, meaning, With the Berchat Kohanim, you have altogether 25 blessings. Okay. V'darshu razal, and our rabbis say, listen to this, my friends, very beautiful. Ko tevarechu, when you bless, you have to bless. There are rules. There are restrictions. You can't just get up and bless however you like. There are rules to Berchat Kohanim. Okay? Let's enumerate some of them. Number one, he says, Nesiut Kapayim has to be hands up. Number two, Belashon HaKodesh has to be in Hebrew. You can't bless the guy in English. May the Lord bless you and protect you. Not allowed to do that. Okay? You could do that in English now, just randomly. But in prayer, has to be in Hebrew. Lashon HaKodesh. Next, Ba'amidah, you got to be standing when you're giving it. Next, Bekol Ram. Got to be out loud. Next, Panim Keneged Panim. You got to be facing the people. You can't just do it looking away. You got to face them. And next, what are we up to? Kote Baruchu B'Shem HaMeforash. You got to do it with God's name. With God's name. You see, my friends, Torah here is giving us beautiful advice, not only for the Kohanim, but the truth is, anytime we're with a relationship that matters, we're with our spouse, when we're with our children, when we are with friends, colleagues, parents, yeah. In life, when you're blessing somebody, there are rules. To have a successful blessing, number one, you got to make sure that you're doing it Belashon Kodesh. What does that mean, Belashon HaKodesh? You got to do it with a holy tongue. When you're blessing somebody, my friends, in a marriage, husband and wife, there has to be holy speech. The words that we use, the tone that we use, the words that we choose to use, and the level, the quality, has to be holy words, my friends. Holy words of blessing, holy words of compliments, holy words of uplifting. We cannot put people down in a relationship. For the blessings to be effective, my friends, it has to be Belashon HaKodesh. Beautiful lesson. For the words to be effective, for a marriage to be successful, it has to be Panim Keneged Panim. It has to be face to face. It has to be face to face. Okay? And finally, it has to be, what does it mean face to face? Okay, good question. What does it mean face to face? It means, face to face means it has to be communication. It has to be communication. It has to be an open line. Remember that your spouse is not a mind reader. They're not a prophet. There's something bothering you, something that you expect. You have to have open communication. There has to be panim el panim. And finally, my friends, nesiut kapayim. What does nesiut kapayim mean? You have to open your hands. To have a successful marriage, our hands have to be open. There has to be giving. There has to be bracha. There has to be selflessness. So long that we're selfish, so long that we're holding tight, we're never going to have a successful marriage. We're not going to have a successful partnership. These are beautiful blessings, but there are laws to the Kohanim reminding us how these blessings are to be effective. One more time, the words that we use have to always be positive. Lashon HaKodesh. Yeah, never nasty words. Number two, panim panim, face to face. We got to look. We got to communicate. We got to talk out the issues. Don't hold them in. Something bothering you, you have to have the discussion. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to be confrontational, but we must be sometimes. And number three, nesiat kapayim. We got to open the hands. When we're giving, we're able to have a most beautiful marriage, a most beautiful life, a most beautiful relationship coming our way. Continues Rabbeinu Bachya and says, B'Shem Harav Yitzchak HaZaken. Look at this, my friends. I found, he says, in the name of Rav Yitzchak HaZaken, Ba'al HaTosafot. Okay, the Ri. The Ri. I don't know if you ever heard of the Ri. If you ever study Gemara, the Gemara is in the middle, and then on each side there's a commentary. On one side is the commentary called Rashi. On the other side is a commentary called Tosafot. Tosafot was actually Rashi's grandchildren. One of the Tosafites, was the Ri Hazaken. Okay, Rabbi Yitzchak. Okay, Rashi's grandson. Okay. the rewrites of here, Rabbeinu Bachya is quoting Tosafot. Interesting. Tosafist. He writes as follows: En kohen noseh et kapav ella imken nasui. If you want to do kohanim, you got to be married. You have to be married. Ubemet nere, it says Rabbeinu Bachya, to me, yesh ikar lazeh, it makes sense. I endorse this opinion, he says. You have to be married. Why? Why do I have to be married? I don't have to be married to put on tefillin every morning. I don't have to be married to shake a lulav and to eat matzah. I don't have to be married to give tzedakah. Why do I have to be married for this mitzvah? Lefi, look at this. She'en ha'adam shalem belo bat zugo. Because a person is incomplete without their other half. Yes? My father-in-law told me a great one. He said, before you get married, you're half. Once you get married, you're zero. Okay? So, says Rabbeinu Bachya, Lefi she'en adam shalem belo bat zugo. A person's incomplete without their spouse. Ve'eno ra'ui lo levarech v'lo lehitbarech. And therefore, such a person who willingly stays single is not able to receive blessing, is not able to give blessing. Person is incomplete because their joy, my friends, is incomplete. Their joy, in order for the blessing to be effective, remember what we said, amor lahem. It has to come be'ahava. It has to come with love. When a person is going through things, when a person is stressed, when a person has headaches, there's no way that your blessing could come off in a genuine way. Maybe you yourself are able to detect when someone is blessing you with a whole heart and when they're not. Sometimes at your own simcha, maybe. You have hundreds and hundreds of people that are coming. And each one tells you Mazal Tov, but you know which Mazal Tovs are real. And you can tell which Mazal Tovs are fake. You can tell which Mazal Tov the guy is giving you, but he's thinking of something else. He's rushing. He just wants to get out of there. Right? He wants to really be there. He doesn't really want to be there. A person, when they get married, my friends, there's a certain joy. You know what the joy is of getting married? It's the joy of really learning to become other-centered. To learn to become perfect. What does it mean to become perfect in my character? It means that so long that I'm single. And again, some people are trying. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about people that choose to stay single. They're choosing it as a life choice. Yeah? There's a it's very trendy today, my friends. Hashtag celibacy. Yeah? Very trendy today to be alone. Right? Today, if you get married, it's like, what are you doing? It's like if you bring children into the world, like you're even worse. What are you bringing children into the world? We have too many people in the world. You're destroying the planet. It's selfish. That's what they tell you. That's what the world today says. It's the craziest thing. Right? Today, people just prefer to live alone. And it's crazy. Yeah, forgive me. But technology is creating all the different dolls and different things that you could create to satisfy and pleasure yourself. And you have housekeeping. You could order food from the store. And what do you need a husband? What do you need a wife? Why do you need anyone? You could live alone. The world today, that's the trend. That's what's in. What's in is being selfish. Thinking only about myself. Right? There is no way, my friends, to learn to be other-centered unless you get married. Because getting married forces us to start thinking outside of ourselves, outside of our little box. Right? When you're single, you do what you want. You go where you want. You don't have to answer to nobody. Right? I have my life. I have my hobbies. I go where I want. I do what I want. I don't have to think. Right? Your box, your circle of life includes only one person. You. Yourself. You're in the circle of life and nobody else. And then we get married and all of a sudden there's somebody else who entered my circle. Yeah? And all of a sudden I want to go to the Yankee game, but she wants to go to the ballet. Now what do? You go to the Yankee game. No kidding. Right? What do you do, right? You have to start thinking about other people. And then your circle gets even bigger with children. And then with the community. A person finds a certain completion, a certain joy of learning to become a giver by getting married. Says Rabbeinu Bachya, a person is not fully complete. Yeah, when they're without a spouse. And look at this. For this reason, Hayu Nadav ve'Avihu re'uyin le'anish. It's for this reason that Nadav and Avihu were punished. Okay, I don't know if you ever heard this one. Okay, I'm about to tell you new goods over here. You ready? Everyone knows. If you ask anybody, why did God kill Aharon's two sons, Nadav and Avihu? Go ahead. Everyone knows. They brought a fire. They said, when is Aharon and Moshe going to die? They were disrespectful, right? Dozens of reasons. Look at this. Lo ratzu lehinase. Because they wanted to stay single. They wanted willingly to live a life, voluntary state of being single. They just wanted to be alone. They didn't want to have to worry about other people. Why should I now have children and get married and give my money to somebody else? Right? It's the most selfish way of thinking about life, my friends. So, and again, I'm talking about voluntary over here. A person who is single voluntarily. Ve'hayu benot Yisrael mamtinot lahem. And there were Jewish girls waiting for Aharon's two sons. Ve'yoshvot agunot kol yamehen. Staying single their entire lives. Aguna. Unfortunately, we know what that word means. Right? Unfortunately, there are many ladies today who remain it's called a spinster. Yeah? They remain spinsters for the rest of their lives. They have nobody. Sometimes ladies are aguna because her husband left without giving her a get. Or they know where he is, the guy's just not giving it. And unfortunately today, it's very difficult for these ladies. And you had over here, Rabbi Nubachi says, many girls remaining agunot, waiting for Aharon's two sons, Nadav and Avihu. V'kvar katabtin, I already told you, he says, kizot ahad min hashesh deot. That's one of the 6 reasons that the rabbis give of why they got punished. Unbelievable. I don't know if you ever heard. I never heard of this one before. But their sin was that they remained single. Willingly. And that's what the Pasuk says in Tehillim, Bahurav achla esh, the boys were consumed by fire, ubtulatav lo holalu. And the single girls remained unwed. You know why? Ma ta'am bahurav achla esh. You know why the boys were consumed by fire? Because the women remained unwed. Because they left the girls single, they decided to just string them along and not marry them. And the girls ended up, unfortunately, wild stuff, my friends. And because of this, Hashem says you don't have the right to bless the Jewish people. How can you give blessings? How can you give blessings when you yourself are lacking the blessing of marriage? When a priest conveys the kind of blessings which include the principle of enjoying married life with a spouse, how could he be suitable to do this unless he himself had set a suitable example? And therefore, says Rabbi Nubachi, I endorse very much the opinion of Ri Hazaken, of the Ba'alat Tosafot, that a single person cannot give the blessings. I think the message is very clear, my friends. How unfortunately, again, today in the world that we live in, it's a very selfish world. It's a world that everybody is interested in only themselves, taking care of themselves. Even when people get married, you ask people, why are you marrying this person? Unfortunately, the answer is also very selfish. It's they're going to do for me, they're going to provide for me, they're going to take care of me. We have to realize that I grow as an individual when I learn to move beyond myself. And the older I get, the harder it is, because the bigger of a pattern and habit I'm creating. When I live 20 years, I have to break a 20-year habit. If I get married at 30, now I got to break a 30-year habit. Yeah? And a person who decides and who's choosing to live alone, it's a very selfish existence. God says you don't have the right to give the Birchat Kohanim. How can you give the blessings of peace, of love, when you have never really learned to love? When you have never really learned what it means to be in peace? Of course you're at peace. You don't have anyone in your life. Yeah, get married, get into a fight, and then let's see shalom. That's a real hero. Real peace is when you're married and there's difference of opinions, and I have my lifestyle and she has her lifestyle, and then you learn to fight it out and to figure it out and to make a compromise. That's shalom. How can you give blessings of shalom if you never practice shalom? Yeah, so says Rabbi Nubachi, a single Kohen, willingly. I'm talking about willingly. He's talking about willingly deciding to stay single. No way that they can ever give over such blessings because they themselves are not worthy to receive such blessings. My friends, these are really such beautiful brachot, again, of financial health, wealth, of God's face shining on us, that's Torah, of chen, right, grace and charm, of the blessings of shalom. May we be zocheh to receive all of these blessings, to remember that if we're going to bless the people around us, to make sure that we're giving them eye-to-eye contact, to make sure that we're giving them communication, to make sure that we're opening our hands, that we're giving, to always use Lashon HaKodesh. Lashon HaKodesh. These are the real blessings, my friends. Then, like God promises, V'samu et shemi al bnei Israel, v'ani avarchem. Then I will place my name on the Jewish people and give them the blessings fully. Again, today's class, my friends, we'll stop over here. Today's class, I made a mistake before. I said Leilu Nishmat, excuse me. It's L'Refu'ah Shelema. It's for the Refu'ah Shelema of Svetlana Golda Bat Serach. Refu'ah Shelema. Ilna Refanala. Ilna Refanala. Ilna Refanala. Ve'achlimea ve'hazikea ve'avi'ea ve'hazireha le'etana harishon. Cheni Ratzon ve'nomar. Amen. As well for the Leilu Nishmat of Yosef ben Chinya. Ruach Adonai Tanichenu Began Eden. Hazak Baruch, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.